Hello and welcome to the 21 Days of Mindfulness and Wellbeing. My name is Sally and this is day number 8, our awareness of our inner dialogue. How have you got on with your inner child? Have you had lots of fun? Have you been creative? Have you sparked old fun times that you might have done when you were a child? Let me know. Love to hear how you've got on. So, day number 8 is all about our awareness of our inner dialogue. The conversations that you have with yourselves before you start tasks, before you start something new, before you engage with people around you, whether or not work colleagues, peers, family, friends, etc. As a mindfulness coach, what I notice a lot of the times when working with clients is that they have negative internal dialogue. I'm not good enough. People will laugh at me. They'll say I'm stupid. I can't do that. I have no power. I have no strength. I'm always weak. And it's really interesting because these inner dialogues have been built into our system almost a little bit like a script. And what happens is with our body, whenever we want to try something, whenever we want to do anything new, for example, there's a part of our body called the ego, and the ego it comes from a loving place. However, it likes comfort, it likes familiarity, so it wants you to stay in the same small little circle where it knows and it understands and it feels more safer. But for us as human beings, one of our purpose is to grow and develop. And when we want to try new things, usually that voice can come a lot from the ego and say, don't do that. If you do that, they may laugh at you, or they might think you're silly and stupid. So stay over here where we can protect you. Stay here where you know what you're doing and it's safe. Don't do that. And it comes from a place of love. However, it hinders our development. So it's important to have the awareness of the inner dialogue, because if those voices are coming into us, because if we consistently have that inner dialogue script, it's going to stop us from achieving our dreams, our goals, our aspirations. And having the awareness, you can engage with that inner dialogue. But for now, I want you to say, isn't it interesting that voice comes in whenever I want to start something new? Isn't it interesting that my inner dialogue seems to be more negative than it does to be more positive and supportive? I wonder where that comes from. So it's all about having non-judgmental thoughts about our inner dialogue. Because by having that, we're not going to be in conflict. We're not going to be in arguments. Because sometimes it's important to understand, sometimes it's really important to understand where those dialogues come from. And a lot of it will be from our peers, our parents, our teachers, those around us, our work colleagues. And sometimes that can come from being shouted at, being told you're not good enough. Sit down, you're not worthy. And if that's repeated enough times, then we start to believe that dialogue and we take on that dialogue as our own. And when we grow up between the ages of 0 and 7, we absorb so much information. This is a great time for us to grow and develop and get as much knowledge to create great momentum for the rest of our lives. And when we're given positive reinforcement, that stays with us. And because we're in this state of Veda, which is where we absorb all this great information, when we're told negative stuff, we absorb the negativity. We absorb that dialogue, and it gets buried in our unconscious. It gets buried in our energy within our body, so that when we go and apply for that new job, when we want to ask that person out on a date, maybe we want to learn a new skill, straight away it will be a trigger for that inner dialogue to say, don't do that. Do you remember last time? Do you remember last time when they laughed at you and you were so embarrassed? Come back here where it's safe. And these dialogues are the things that prevent us. So having the awareness is the first step to help shift those old patterns of that negative inner dialogue to a new positive inner dialogue. But we can only get there through our awareness of listening to our inner dialogue. So that's your task for today. It's very simple. Without judgment, be aware. And if you've come out of this going, actually, I'm very negative about myself, and I bet you would be really sad and upset if someone was walking down the street and started saying that you're not good enough, that you're stupid. You wouldn't allow it. But what we find is that most people do it to themselves. We become our worst enemy, our bullies, if you like. Are people that just oppress us. But it's only through awareness that we can start shifting them. So maybe when you've been aware that you've said that negative talk, you could go, isn't that interesting? And then you could create new inner dialogue. Like, go for it. It doesn't matter if you get it right or wrong. What matters is that you're doing it. One of the greatest support and advices that I got when I was going on stage and singing in front of people, playing my guitar, I got so nervous before. What if my guitar string breaks? What if people laugh at me? What if I sing the wrong note? And actually, I spent all that time and energy engaging with my inner dialogue that eventually I was more aware and started changing what I was saying to myself. And actually, the best advice that I was ever given was, you know what, Sally? It doesn't matter if you get it right. And it doesn't matter if you get it wrong. What matters is that you're here right now and that you're doing it. Because by doing it, you'll become better at it. And doing it over and over and over is one of the most powerful tools in the universe, and it's called practice. And having that encouraging voice within saying, you can do this, come on, have a go. What's the worst that can happen? Going, I want to have a positive inner dialogue in my energy, in my body system, because I want to succeed in life. I want to grow in life. I don't want to be the same person I was 10, 15 years ago. But it only comes from the awareness of our inner dialogue. So it's a very simple task for today. I don't want you to make major changes. Just be aware of negative and positive. Write them down. Isn't it interesting? I went for a job today and that voice came in. Isn't that interesting? By using mindfulness techniques, we can recondition, we can reprogram who we are and let go of old belief systems, old prejudices, old dialogues that probably weren't even yours in the first place. Just something that you absorbed because someone told you you were stupid. Someone said that you were silly, and you allowed, unfortunately, that to stay with you. And it wasn't your fault because you weren't taught mindfulness techniques. I don't remember we were ever taught these techniques at school, but I wish we were, because if we did, I believe our world would be so much different, so much more positive. Life is a journey, and the more we have the encouragement to grow and develop, our lives will feel more fulfilled, more joyous, more happier, more content. So be aware. My name's been Sally from My Mindset UK. Take care.